Lei aveva questa R moscia che le dava una...
Fidanzati di Chiara D'Alberto.
Today, no music. Angelo Badalamenti.
Angelo Badalamenti.
Angelo Badalamenti.
said, oh, that's it. Oh, it's so beautiful. Angelo. Oh, he's tearing my heart out. I love that. Just keep it going. Now, she's starting to leave. So far down. Keep falling. Keep falling. Keep falling. Now go back into the darkness.
Good morning. Messo. Simple. It's March 27th, so read the last Friday, it's March 26th, 2026, eh? Davy, Mr. Lynch, it's Lady Mr. Lynch, can you hear me from here? Because Neve, can't believe it. It's a Friday, once again, it's a Friday, once again. It's a Friday, Once again. Here in Naples.
Di Andrea Sempio e un suo amico vigile del fuoco, e poi altri scambi telefonici fra i due la mattina del 13 agosto. Ci sono anche questi contatti sotto la lente degli investigatori che, nel cercare di ricostruire i movimenti di Andrea Sempio il giorno del delitto di Chiara Poggi, hanno dovuto verificare, incrociando i dati, anche gli spostamenti.
Anticipazione del TG1, dei colleghi del TG1 di un paio di giorni fa con le K, che dovrebbero essere sentite più o meno a ridosso della Discovery. Che domanda, della chiusura delle indagini, che domande faranno a Stefania e Paola K, questo ovviamente non possiamo immaginarlo. Certo, gli investigatori...
Questa cosa che si faceva la salsa nei box, è possibile che facevano salsa di pomodoro?
Qui non faceva nessuna salsa.
Cioè non era un'usanza fare le salse di pomodoro nei box?
No, non facevano niente.
Lei abita qui da?
Io abito qui, la prima a venire a abitare qui sono stata io. Quindi non faceva nessuna salsa.
Nessuno mai ha fatto salsa?
No.
In estate?
Mai, glielo garantisco. Lui era un ragazzo pacifico, sempre vestito di nero.
Quindi loro mai, nel periodo che hanno vissuto in questa palazzina, loro mai hanno fatto salsa di pomodoro?
No, io mi ricordo no, perché il regolamento lo vi.
Excuse, once again, neither sky, absolutely neither, it's an adjective, it means sì, fanno dire neither, quindi ortoclari, soclari, discat, si genera, viceversa, and if at the moment lettersi mostly cloudy, one of the two things, and only the mostly cloudy, this way, and it's early afternoon, 13 and 17, minutes. 55 Fahrenheit 13 Celsius. This means it's really soft like this because soft is classified as for the spring region support for SEO is for consider fact channel for years June 17 so fact overcome for SEO the parts regarding la space esame la space avuto la space 20 particolare winter la 75 particolare 16 for the PM in Italy now also for the spring overcome and so all around all the 4 years of the seasons overcome all the 4 years of the parts so yes in particular the spring last Friday March 20th in Italy precision at 10:01 a.m. Whereas absolutely everything about you Chinese supposed to I'm sure attraverso i dremi things per esempio si intenzione purpose perché ti riesci in Chinese is better no grabs para occidentali and then the institute evaluation for the summer, the spring, summer, the autumn, the winter, in fact, for the summer, so adjective for autumn, once again, ci soffre, winter, adjective, also sostanze già for season superiore. Praticamente, a riguardo di Greece, the reason me was a finger sem effettuata la postura complete, ovviamente, mezzo magnifico che entra in pratica with the goes in the spring, say that it's last 3 days still cold, in particular last 3-4 days, really cold, at I don't feel cold, as you know, but I feel cold less than other people, thanks, I think, and you should know this, for the fact that I always repeat this in winter period, winter reports, not only this year but also all the other years, thanks to a practice that I follow, I don't feel cold for the fact that I follow some practice better to practice, particularly which I have some years, which I always started to feel cold, and so also I don't feel cold also these last days, and so for this I don't know for some people, non è think or not, because the fact that I feel cold, non è think yes, I don't know, si pensa non è think l'anti ti feel cold. However, for me, this period good, and if I say just before, just a matter of war, repeat it in the last days, it's really good. Instead, but sky, but also at the same gently, I don't know if I could say the name, so yes, good one, so completely, if I can be some famous mission. It's a Friday once again, so first of all, say Friday. It's a Friday once again, so first of all, say Friday. It's a Friday once again, so first of all, say Friday. I should never do this. I should never do this. Fantastic Electric, Blue, Dark, Blue and White Razor, the 6 Razor, the Storm, the Watts, because also the previous 5th, it was the beautiful red, black and also white. A beautiful red model is what to piace. In fact, it's because this fifth the previous crashed in the week of 16th, 15th Friday, but yes, it should be the week of 16th Friday, and so should be better. And so, yes, at the moment I was using it recently, and I also second thing, like the cover that I speak about the breakfast, I review it one day, one time, and you touch it better visit Friday, which is stato così, that should view the reason on Friday, I repeat it should be the week of 16th Friday, 16th, 15th, but 16th, less this second because it's new, but good also for other aspects, only for some noise it was, I said it might be at least 30 minutes, but I should 30 minutes, and through this, for the moment, in one round, because I think it's just for new, but also for some aspects, other aspects, and now I showed you better once with just a few minutes ago, so this is a closer shot. Cioè notice dark blue e for the color I still remember the first because I thought also the first was blue and white, and if as you can notice here light blue, so make you see difference, while this is dark blue, and so yes, the first for other aspects also mi remember to me the first one, the second story report, and if I can show to you the first one, the second was first I don't have them. So repeat once again, this also, and also repeat once again, this is a 6 Razor, lo storia report in generale, this is 40 anni, con la stessa però si porta vince, si tenta con conseguenza che andare sotto il bici, ti vuole per necessità, si può, si può fare termini, musica, si può sapere così, o questo si dice per i gatti. Being ready after, think at the report, want to this, I repeat this just before. 55 for Fahrenheit 13 Celsius. At important thing with atmosphere at GPD. Just before the edition.